We are here with Chris Gray and his lovely wife Anna. Hi, Chris.
Hi, how you going, everyone?
Good. Hey, welcome to Compass Country. It's really good to have you. I've got to kind of turn around.
Yeah, I know.
I'm used to facing the computer. So Chris is here to talk. We're here to talk about a few things tonight. Chris has also got his guitar. We're going to play a couple of songs from his album, which is called 20 Years in the Making. So Chris, why don't you tell us how you started, how long you've been out here in the wonderful North Canterbury for?
I've been in North Canterbury for well over 10 years. Well over 10 years I've been in North Canterbury. Born and bred in Christchurch, and slowly from Beckenham, actually, slowly shifted out with parents, and we've shifted further and further, and now I live in Cust. Mum and Dad and one of my brothers live in Rangiora, so we're North Canterbury.
North Canterbury,
Yeah, we are.
I'm a North Canterbury born.
Yeah.
I'm in the boondocks of Harwood.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Good old Waikari Hospital.
Nice, yes.
So is Anna.
So,
Well, there you go.
so is my wife. Yep,
Oh, she's a great person. That's why she's so lovely.
yep.
So tell us a little bit about your music career.
So I started playing guitar when I was 10, had a great cousin and thankfully my father that kept me going, because at times I was wanting to give it up, but they turned up at the right time and kept on saying to me, no, you can't give it up. And I've, made a real great life out of playing music. And 17, when I shouldn't be playing in pubs, I was playing in pubs.
With Phil Dublé?
Yes, that was a little bit later on, but yeah, I've been played with Phil, which was, man, what a great guitar player. I was
Yeah.
playing bass with him and a guy, Clark Reed,
Yep.
and a great drummer, Jared Broughton, and I've played with Remedy, which is Alan Barron, and I mean, to be honest, I was so lucky to be asked to play for him because, I backed a lot of great New Zealand artists.
So Ellen didn't lead you astray?
He did not lead me astray.
wow.
No, not at all. No. He taught me, him and another fella, I learnt so much off them about the industry, about the things that you need to do, and forget these things that you don't need to do,
Yep.
And talking to people. Talking to people is a huge thing. And everybody's great, and yeah, I learnt a lot off Alan Barron. I've told him many times. I've told him many times how much I've learnt off him. Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
He's one of my, and I know, like I've known Alan for years, but he's one of my heroes.
Yep. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your album, 20 Years in the Making, and
Yes.
when did you start that?
It's called 20 Years in the Making for a reason, because it was over 20 years ago that I actually wrote most of those songs. And I've been in the studio many times with different things, played on Pat Dugan's album, played with Clark Reed on his album, and Clay Middleton. I haven't heard of him for years, but played on his album, played on many people's albums. And it wasn't something I really liked. I love playing in front of people. I
Yep.
love the live thing and playing in front of people. So all my songs just sort of got put in the bottom drawer and never dealt with. And then someone said to me, who'd watched me play for years, said, have you put an album out? And I said, no. And he said, why not? Are you on your Facebook? I said, no. Do you do YouTube? No, I said, I'm a guy that lives in the country and that's me. And it got me thinking. And so I decided to get those songs out, changed a few words around and started recording it at home. And I had a blast, to be honest. It was really, really good fun. And it was, yeah. And then took it to Arnie at Night Shift Studios,
Yep.
who is fantastic at making someone sound like they
He is,
really
isn't he?
know what they're doing.
He's got this old school way of doing it. I've heard a lot of recordings, modern recordings, and I just haven't liked them.
No.
There's just something missing in them. But Arnie he's just got this magic.
He has got magic.
Yeah.
It's because he's done it for years and he still loves what he does.
He does.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've actually got a copy of the album here to give away. If you would like to ring in on 311-7100, you can score yourself a copy of this. And it's got 8 tracks on it, and production team listened to it today and they said, oh, it's a really good album.
Oh, I love it.
So I'm not going to listen to Compass tomorrow morning. I'm actually going to listen to Chris Gray on my way into town. Sorry, Kerry. I'm sure he'll forgive me this once. Okay, so we're actually going to play a wee track off of that album, and it's called 3 and 4.
It is.
Yep.
3 and 4. It's the first song on the album.
Yeah, and is it one that you wrote?
It's one I wrote. Yeah, I wrote 6 of them, and there's 2 covers on there. Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to play Chris Gray's 3 and 4, and then after Chris is going to be Waylon Jennings, and then we will be back shortly. We are here at Compass Country, and of course Compass Country is now sponsored by Aaron Clark from Property Brokers. Go Aaron. We should get him in here one night. Don't know what we'd have him do. We could talk about property. We could talk about his guitar playing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to know about property.
Absolutely. And nothing is too big or too small for Aaron either, because he's got a castle on, I don't know if he's sold it yet, but he's advertised a castle. I keep saying to him, if I win lotto, that thing's mine.
Is that castle in Cust? Do you know?
It's it might be in Sefton.
Oh, in Sefton.
Yeah, just a bit of free advertising. Hey, we're going to be right back with Chris after our community notices. We are back here on Compass Country, sponsored by Aaron Clark of Property Brokers, and of course we're back here with Chris Gray. Now, Chris has a very, very important story to tell us all. In August this year, Chris was diagnosed with bowel cancer. So Chris wants to share his story with us so he can help some other people out there make a difference.
Okay, so I need to start 20 odd years ago when my mother was diagnosed with bowel cancer, and a little later on my father had some prostate issues. Not cancer, just some issues. Because of this, I was known as an at-risk person, and at the age of 40 I needed to have tests done. Now at the age of 38 I was at my GP and asked about getting these tests, and I was told I didn't need to have the test till I was 40, to which I said, do people that are under 40 don't get cancer? And the GP said, oh yes they do, but very small percentage of the people get cancer under 40. So I said, well, what if I was one of those people? So I talked them into sending me for a test, and off for blood tests I was, and the blood tests came back and they were all clear. 2 years later I was 40 and I went to the GP and I said, now that I'm 40, do you think I should have another test? And if it comes back all clear, I won't annoy you for another 10 years, because I knew that these things happen in 10-year sort of brackets. So off for another blood test I went, and that also came back all clear. Now I'm 48, and late last year I started having trouble having a poo. And off to my new GP I went, and she sent me off for more blood tests, but I also did a poo sample and a pee sample, and yet again all of it came back clear. Then in February I was getting stomach pains as well, so off to the GP I went, and she decided I needed a colonoscopy, and again she sent me for another blood test and it came back clear again. Then around the 4th of August I stopped pooing completely, and I didn't poo for the next 10 days, and every time I tried to eat all I wanted to do was throw up. So I went back to the GP, and on Friday the 14th of August they rang an ambulance for me and sent me to hospital. I had a CT scan, and then 7 doctors and surgeons surround my bed and say, we've found the blockage and it's cancer. To which I said, which I can't say on radio, but I said, you can't be serious. It can't be cancer because I've had the tests. And the surgeon said to me, blood tests? And I said, yes. He said, they're not worth the piece of paper they're written on. And I was told if I'd had a colonoscopy 10 years ago, or even 8 years ago, or even a little bit more than that, less than that, they would have found what they call polyps, and polyps are really easily fixed. But because of that I didn't, what had happened is that the polyp had turned into a blockage, which is a big blockage of my bowel, but also it had also spread into my stomach lining, and which is now terminal. So they've given me, they've said it's not good. That's the thing. But we'll talk about that in 25 years when I fight this and keep fighting this, and I make them all wrong.
Good on you, Chris. That's a positive attitude actually goes a long way. And like I was saying to you before, my mum had bowel cancer when she was 75, and she passed away this year during lockdown at 91. So,
that's
you just gotta keep
nearly
fighting.
20 years. That's it.
And they said to her, look, we only expected this long.
Yeah.
And
she was
got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really amazing. Hey, Chris is going to sing us a song now. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about this because Chris got a wee bit more to say on it. And Chris, what's the song you're going to play for us?
So I'm going to sing a George Jones song. I've actually got a couple of George Jones songs to sing. So another thing that happened recently is Anna, my partner, and we got married. So she's not my partner anymore. She's my wife. So this song here is called Walk Through This World With Me, which I heard and I thought, you know what? I'd love to sing this at my wedding for Anna. So it goes like this. Walk through this world with me. Go where I go. Share all my dreams with me. I need you so. In life we search, and some of us find. I've looked for you a long, long time. Now that I've found you, new horizons I see. Come take my hand and walk through this world with me. Walk through this world with me. Go where I go. Share all my dreams with me. I search for you so. Now that I've found you, new horizons I see. Come take my hand and walk through this world with me. Come take my hand and walk through this world with me.
Gosh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful song, isn't it?
Isn't it just beautiful? Oh, Anna, I bet you that bring a few tears to your eye? Yeah, she's nodding. That was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, great
really
song,
lovely.
hey?
Yeah. And we will, of course, be back with Chris shortly. Now, somebody did try to ring before, and I'm sure that they were after that album. So if you want to ring back, 311-7100, or the first person in, you can score a copy of Chris's album. And we'll be right back shortly. Compass Country, brought to you in association with Aaron Clark Property Brokers. Nothing is too small or too big for Aaron. Give him a call or check him out on Facebook. Phone Property Brokers in Rangiora and they can put you through to him. Okay, Chris, let's carry on with your story first.
Okay, so I guess the big problem is that I'm not the only one that goes through this. Just a month or so ago in the press, there was an article about a lady who went to her GP with bowel issues, and she was sent for blood tests and all came back good, and she was told that it was probably the same as me, irritable bowel syndrome. She then shifted to Australia and had some issues and was told by the GP over there the same thing, it's probably irritable bowel syndrome. Then she came back and lived in Christchurch, and she starts bleeding. And so she goes again to the GP and he says to her, I think you've got hemorrhoids. So she gets hemorrhoid cream, which of course it doesn't fix. So she decides to get a second opinion. And this is the point with it, is that I think it's a really good thing if you're having issues that you should get a second opinion. She gets a second opinion. The GP that she gets a second opinion from sends her for a colonoscopy. She's told she's got cancer, but because it wasn't found early enough, it's terminal. She's not an old lady either, and she's like me in her 40s. So, it's happening more than you'd like to think. Now I'm having chemo, and that's not a good sight. There are about 12 to 14 comfy armchairs in a room. You sit there for 2 hours while other people finish their chemo and leave, and another person comes in, takes their place in the seat for another 2 hours. And it happens all day long, every day. While I was in there, I talked to the nurses and told my story as I'm telling all of you guys. And the nurses tell me they hear the same story at least once a week. So the reason I'm telling my story is the same reason the lady in the press told her story. If you have cancer in your family and you're only getting blood tests, fight your GP for better. Tell them my story if you have to, right? The thing is that you don't want to leave it till the last minute, because when you do, you end up like me, and you want to stop that from happening. Yeah.
That's a really good message.
Yeah.
And Chris, we spoke the other day about the new test that's coming out next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is a new test, and in it is a poo test. But the poo test doesn't work. The only thing that I know through all of this and talking to the experts, the only thing that works is colonoscopies.
It is.
And because it finds the polyps. The polyps are the things you need to find, because they're the things that turn into the dangerous stuff. And if you get the polyp early, there's no problems. You know, you don't have to have chemo. You just end up on a bit of a watch list. But for most people, it's clear sailing after that.
Yeah. So with my family, so my mum, I don't know what happened with my granddad and my auntie, but with my mum, she started off with diverticulitis, and that hers progressed from there. And I suffer quite badly with diverticulitis, and I know with that you do have to change your diet, like seeds, you know. And I love strawberries, but I haven't had a strawberry for I don't know how many years, and it doesn't worry me. You know,
I like crunchy peanut butter, and I'm not allowed it
You're
anymore.
not allowed it.
No.
Totally. You get used to it, you know. You've kind of got to put yourself into what is more important, you know. Do you want to be here? Do you want to fight this? Or are you just going to go with what you feel like eating?
I call it fighting the fight.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Chris is going to sing us another song.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
What are you going to sing us now, Chris?
So this also is a George Jones song. Now, most people might think to themselves, oh, I've heard this song before. And you've probably heard the Chris Stapleton version of it. And so there's a guy, Cameron Walsh, lives in North Canterbury as well. He does a great version. He does a version very similar to the Chris Stapleton version. So the words in the verse of this song didn't really make sense for myself and Anna for a wedding, because it talks about him being at the bottom of the bottle and her turning him around. I'm not at the bottom of the bottle. She didn't turn me around from that point. So I changed some words. So I rewrote the verses to make more sense for Anna and I.
I know what this is.
Yeah, it's a great song called Tennessee Whiskey.
Awesome song.
Yeah. So this is my version of Tennessee Whiskey. And of course, so if you haven't heard the George Jones version, it's very much more country than the Chris Stapleton. So mine's on that side.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, from the first time we met, it didn't take very long to figure out that we belong together. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy, and I stay stoned on your love all the time. We're both very strong, and it was hard at the start, but now we're heart to heart together. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy, and I stay stoned on your love all the time. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine, and you're as warm as a glass of brandy, and I stay stoned on your love all the time. I stay stoned on your love all the time.
Wow, that's a really good version.
Yeah.
That is such a good version of that song.
Well, George Jones's version is very similar, apart from I've changed some
Yeah.
of the lyrics in it.
I love that song. That
Yeah.
is such. As soon as you said Cameron Walsh does this and Chris Stapleton, I'm like, yeah, I know what this one
You
is.
know this one, yeah.
And then when you said, he's down at the bottom of the bottle, I'm like,
That's right.
totally know what this song is. I should do because I'm all over the country.
Absolutely.
Okay, look, we will be back with Chris here on Compass Country, Compass FM 104.9, 103.7. Of course, that is the Civil Wars. Haven't they got fantastic harmonies?
Absolutely.
I just love that version
Yeah.
of
I've
Billie
never
Jean.
heard that before.
Yeah, go check them out.
I will,
They're
yeah.
really good. They meet at like a songwriting thing.
Right.
Great duet. And then just all of a sudden, one night, it was all over. Her husband was their manager. Some people, have rumours about what was going on,
Yeah.
what happened. Who knows? No one knows.
No.
Joy Williams is her name. She's fantastic. And his name has just escaped me, but the two of them, there's videos, everything, just amazing. They've got some fantastic
Wow.
songs.
And so they're no longer.
No, they're no longer. It's such a shame.
Yeah.
From This Valley is the song.
Yes.
So go check that out, From This Valley, Civil Wars. Okay, and of course we are back with Chris Gray, and we've got something else that's happening on Sunday. So Chris's album, we're trying to sell a few copies of Chris's album, and there's a fundraiser on this Sunday at Winnebago's.
Yes.
Just over the road.
Just over the road in Rangiora,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, and that starts at 3 o'clock.
Yep, 3 p.m. You can come down and buy the CD there. There's T-shirts available with it as well, so you can come and get a T-shirt as well. I need to say first and foremost, the fundraiser's been organised by Philippa Gill from Ray White. She's put the whole thing together, which is fantastic, and I thank Philippa immensely for doing this. The thing with the fundraiser is I can't work anymore, basically. I've been cut through the stomach to have this operation to keep me alive. And lifting speakers has been outlawed, I've been told by everyone. And, of course, I have Anna here to make sure that is the case. So, bills keep coming in. And it gets a bit tricky. So, I'd love as much support as I can. So it's on from 3 p.m. 5:30, there's a dinner, and you can book a table through Winnie's. That's all good. Now there's going to be an auction, and there's lots of goodies there. I'm just going to go through a couple of them. There's a 1-night stay in Hemna Springs. There's also a 3-night stay in Kaikoura. That's donated by Tony Gordon and his wife from Devlin Real Estate. Some sponsors: race car jackets donated by Alan Barron. And a gift basket from doTERRA. And Sharon Miller right here, has also just given me a package as well of aromas and bath bombs and soaps and that's from Art of Aroma to auction off. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Fiona Kiwi from Ray White is doing the auctioning, so that's an actual person that knows how to do auctions properly, which is really good. There's many musicians going to play throughout the afternoon as well, so come down and support and come and say hi.
And those musicians, I'm pretty sure, if I know most of them, they are kind of like the cream of Canterbury.
They are. Yeah. I know some of them. I'm not going to mention too many names or any names because I don't want to leave anyone out. But there's going to be some great musicians there, and it might be quite a good day it should be a great day of music.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're coming down after, because I've got North Canterbury Sunday Market first, and that finishes at 2. By the time I pack up, get home, and then quick change, and we will be down
Great.
as well. I'm looking forward to the afternoon of music too. It should be fantastic.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody, this is really, can't stress this enough, how important Chris's story is and how important this fundraiser is. So we'd love to see as many of you down at Winnebago's, down here in Victoria Street on Sunday afternoon. Chris, thank you so much for coming in this evening and sharing your story with everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure. And
thank you, Sharon.
Maybe I'll still be in this seat in 25 years and we can
do it again. Hey, well said.
And
thanks to Compass FM for letting me come and tell my story.
Yeah. Community station, we just love. We love having local people
Great.
on. It's great. And Chris, we wish you all the best with your journey.
Yeah.
You and Anna with your journey ahead.